14th. It's a Friday Eve, baby.
It is.
What a week it's been.
She didn't want to introduce herself, but that's Abby Fridman.
Here I am.
And this is Arc Rochester, and I'm Dan Schrack.
When we were at Lollipop Farm the other day,
I know.
It was so heavily stressed that we had to introduce ourselves because we were starting off the show. Whatever you do, do not forget to say who you are and where you work.
How could we forget that?
How could we forget?
And I forgot. I said my part, and I'm Dan Schrack from 13 Wham.
It's all right. Gave me a good laugh.
What are you going to do?
Chuckle. Nothing.
Listen, sometimes you need that reminder of who you are.
Yeah.
Right?
It got deep. Yeah.
It's true. I wake up every morning and mirror time, 10 minutes.
10 minutes?
You're Dan Schrack.
For 10 minutes? That's a lot of time. Oh, wow. All right. Well, speaking of time, we have 2 hours to get to this morning. So let's run down what we have brewing for you this Friday Eve. Daniel?
All right, so coming up this morning, we are getting an exclusive look at the Rochester Philharmonic Orchestra's 2025-26 Pops season. We've got Principal Pops conductor Jeff Tyzik, who's going to be here to announce some of the shows you can expect this season.
Yeah,
pretty
and
exciting stuff.
Absolutely. Later, we are sticking with the arts this morning, previewing Geva Theatre's comedy series called The Workout Room.
Getting our pump on.
We'll be joined by the comedian who's getting ready to take the stage tonight.
And then we're highlighting National Nutrition Month with the help of our good friend Kelly Springer. This morning, she's going to be highlighting the importance of balanced nutrition for overall health and likely beets.
I would put money on it that there will be beets involved. Before all of that, we're going to start things out this morning with a check of the forecast. A cooler start out there, but temperatures are going to rise significantly throughout the day.
Meteorologist Marty Snyder standing by for us this morning. Marty, this is an interesting forecast today because we're starting in the 30s, and as we make our way through the day, typically when we start to see those temperatures dip, they just continue to rise.
Yeah, overall, just a really warm day, at least for March standards, and it's going to be a good increase in numbers, just a good numeric increase straight through the day. We're coming in right now, a lot of places seeing at least a little bit of sunshine, trying to sneak through some of those thin clouds, and right around 30 for the latest number. A few places have pulled back to the upper 20s for the early morning temperatures, but it is going to be one of those days like where Dan mentioned. We're really going to see these numbers gain by quite a bit, especially throughout the morning, back to 49 at noon, probably somewhere in the mid-50s for high temperatures today. And that's, of course, above average for this time of year by a fair amount. And then we just widen that margin over the next few days. Tomorrow, up another 13 degrees or so compared to what we'll see today, about 68 then. Some sunshine holds on, likely a few more clouds into Saturday. Most of Saturday looks to be dry. It's right towards the end of the day. Could pick up a shower, but they'll be few and far between. Sunday, the better bet for some rain. And even after we see temperatures drop down behind that system on Monday, we'll rise back through the 50s and even 60s for highs into next week. So usually once we see temperatures drop back significantly, usually that's it. But we're going to see a nice rebound going into next week as well for these numbers.
Yeah, we really like it midweek next week.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to wear shorts this week.
I was, but then no one wanted to get on board with me. And then I said, okay, we'll do shorts at the St. Patrick's Day thing. And everybody poo-pooed that idea as well.
Kind of seems like maybe you were scared.
Is that a threat?
It might be a threat.
Is that a threat? I'll show some legs.
All right,
My sunglasses on over here.
Yeah, you need
I'm right there
them.
with you, though, Dan.
You need them. Pretty reflective. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. All right, let's get to Off the Top and see some of the stories that have piqued our interest this Thursday morning. And this morning, ironically, we both have updates for stories that we told you about earlier this week. I'm going to start things out with a pretty incredible story, at least incredible video, jaw-dropping video of a track meet that happened just about a week and a half ago now. We'll let you take a look at that video right now. Here it is, taking it full screen. You're seeing two track stars there, athletes, and one getting hit in the head repeatedly with a baton. So the update in this story is charges have now been filed. Aliyah Everett, the senior at IC Norcom High School, the one in who was in the lead, and then you see the other runner, Kaylin Tucker, high school junior, Brookville High junior, overtake her. That's when Everett hits Tucker with that baton on the head several times. you see Tucker then fall to her knees and really collapse outside of that loop there on the track. Battery and assault charges have now been filed in this case. I do want to remind you that Tucker suffered a concussion and what they believe was a minor skull fracture. Everett's statement in the beginning, she said that the incident was totally unintentional, that she said, and I quote, "I would never do that on purpose. That's not in my character." She said that her baton got stuck at one point, and when she pulled her arm out, that's when she hit and hit and hit, which, again, it's almost unbelievable when you're looking at that. But she's standing by that story, and her family is standing by her in that as well. Part of the kicker to all of this was that the runner that was injured never got an apology from family, never got an apology from the coach. Nobody said anything. Nobody checked on her. It was kind of up to her team to take care of her. And, you know, a lot of people say that this action was absolutely egregious and deplorable, and that the one athlete deserves whatever she has coming to her. Now, there has been an apology, but the apology, I believe, was done during a news interview, during a television interview, saying, "I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do this."
Yeah.
And I think that only goes so far. I think at some point you actually have to talk to the individual that this happened to. But she said in the beginning that they were assaulting her character, calling her ghetto, racial slurs. She received death threats, all of this just because of a 9-second video that only showed what she says is one angle of this. But based on reaction from people in the stands that day, everyone saw the same thing.
And we
didn't see a stuck baton.
We've also seen several angles at this point.
Yes.
You know, several points of view.
Yeah. So the Virginia High School League, this was their league championship. They are now conducting an investigation into this matter. And the Tucker family has also filed a protective order against Everett following this incident. So because they are both minors, it's not really clear how much more information beyond the initial charges that will ever get or that will ever be released to the public. But it's certainly an update. I know that a lot of people, a lot of athletes out there, a lot of people with skills of sportsmanship are applauding.
Yeah, and you know, I probably this girl's career is over, her any kind of athletic career.
Oh, I would say yes.
You know, I imagine that it would be very hard for her to get recruited by colleges or anything after this.
Yeah, it's not something that I think you can... Listen, you saw the video, you drew your own conclusion, and your conclusion was likely right because there are now charges backing that up. I don't think you apply for a track scholarship at any school with this on your record.
All right. Thank you for the update.
But an update.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
All right. We got to get to mine now because this is one that has been a very hot topic on the interweb. We were talking yesterday about the Girl Scout cookie lawsuit. A woman, Amy Mayo in New York, filing a lawsuit against the Girl Scouts of America, against the Girl Scout cookies, saying that they contained harmful toxins, arsenic and mercury and other things. Lead inside the Girl Scout cookies. And now... the plaintiff in this is seeking dismissal. All right, so here we go. I got to read off my phone.
Please.
There's some legal terms I got to get right here. So Amy Mayo pulling out of this lawsuit. She was originally seeking $5 million in this class action lawsuit against the Scouts. So now they are dropping those, and they're saying that the study that was done was maybe not necessarily super trustworthy.
Well, yeah, 25 cookies from 3 states.
Only 25 cookies tested from 3 different states. The study was not published. It was also not peer-reviewed, and it judged the cookies based on water safety guidelines, not necessarily food guidelines. So take that into consideration as well.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so the lawsuit was filed just after podcaster Joe Rogan talked about the Girl Scout cookies on a podcast, claiming that they contained pesticides and other things as well. Scouts of America has come out and said they meet all of the food guidelines. Like, there is nothing wrong with the cookies. There will, of course, be some things that are inevitable. You know, there will certainly be some, I don't even want to call them materials, but
yeah, I think that's an
materials that
appropriate
will
term.
be inevitably in all of the food that we eat. We talked yesterday about Lindt chocolate, and we talked a little bit about some of the baby food. But now this woman is asking for the lawsuit to be dismissed, and she's going back and saying, I don't want to go any further. And I'm wondering part of that has to do with the response from the internet. People very upset over this. They're saying there's little to no proof here in this argument. 25 cookies, like you said, over 3 states. And the Girl Scouts are iconic. Everybody knows when cookie season is. People are still going to buy them. We saw tweet after tweet after tweet yesterday of people saying, I'm still going to eat them. I'm still going to buy them. You and I said the same thing.
Quite honestly, I'm surprised with the lack of evidence from the very beginning that she was able to retain an attorney to file this paperwork in a court system.
Yeah, well, yeah. I don't know how that all works.
That somebody didn't say from the very get, Amy, you don't have a case here.
Yeah.
Bring some real evidence up, and then we can talk. But until then, what do you do?
Yeah. It's shocking. When I saw the whole thing come out, I was raising an eyebrow, I'll be honest. I thought to myself, there's no way she has a case here. You look at the study and you look at what they're pitching, and granted, we did not have a lot of information yesterday, just like we don't have a ton of information today. The story hasn't really been picked up quite yet, but you think to yourself, no legs to stand on.
One of my biggest qualms with this, though, is that it appears that it may not have been the intent of the filing, but guess what? The Girl Scouts name got dragged through the mud. It's an organization that teaches young girls how to become strong young women who are powerful, and it's a shame that someone would try to condemn them for something that there's no evidence to say they did.
Yeah.
You know, it's a shame. And I'm sure somewhere out there, there's somebody who will only ever hear that first side of the story, the first part that a lawsuit was filed, that there was a study done, and it'll be a mad game of telephone among friends, and cookie sales will go down. And quite honestly, that's a shame, because it supports a great organization that, again, does a lot for young women, does a lot for underprivileged children, and that's not right.
And you know what? They do a lot of good in our community.
Yeah, they do.
Think about all of the, nursing homes and churches and volunteer groups that they all visit and take part in. They do excellent work in the community. You got to support the Girl Scouts.
Absolutely. And those cookies are, darn it, they are delicious. Yeah. They are delicious.
You ate them right off the floor.
I
right
did.
Off the newsroom floor.
A whole ream of them. And I will proudly tell that story from this day forward.
We got to address something here.
What?
While he's in the room. Yesterday, Mark McLean told us that Girl Scout cookies would be in the building at some point.
He sometimes makes stuff up. I swear. He's sitting over there shaking his head right now. You can't see it, but he's smiling and laughing and shaking his head. He told us that Kim, we don't know what Kim, who or where, but that Kim said, oh yeah, we're going to have Girl Scouts in here and they're going to have cookies for us.
At 9 o'clock.
At 9 o'clock.
At 9 o'clock. They'll be here.
Listen,
Zero.
we get stacks of papers every morning. Nothing about Girl Scouts in here. Nobody in the building knew about any Girl Scouts coming by.
It's our fault because we believed him.
It is. It is.
There he is.
There he is, over in the dark.
I was trying to hide. I was trying to hide.
What do you have to say for yourself?
That's what she said. I was getting a cup of coffee.
Oh,
I'm a
yeah.
liar. I've never been called a liar before as a meteorologist.
He just did
This
it
is a
again.
first. This
He
is a
lied
first
again.
for me.
Wow.
Ever.
We still love you, McLean. It wasn't your forecast, so
Okay.
I guess we can't
I guess
really
I lie
complain.
there too, huh? Call
Thank
me a
you,
liar.
sir. We appreciate you.
Time right now, 8:16. We still have a lot to get to here on ARC Rochester. When we come back, we're checking in with Chris Lopez, who is serving up some traditional Irish dishes this morning.
Tasty stuff. Hey, and don't forget, you can watch us on the go wherever you are. We are streaming live on the 13 Wham YouTube channel right now. Yes, live. That's right. Stick around. We're back after this. St. Patrick's Day is days away, and in honor of that, Chris Lopez has revolved his features this week around that big celebration.
Yeah, he's been trying Irish beer, Irish dance, and today, some Irish food. And he's also drinking some Irish cocktails, too. He is live this morning giving us he's been stuffing his face now for like an hour. Chris, what are you working on right now?
Working on the shepherd's pie, guys. I got to be eating. I drank a little bit too much this morning. We got to wash that down with some good shepherd's pie. I'm here with Chef John this morning. He's been running through the masses right now, making sure I am very well fed this morning in an Irish way. So, Chef, what do we got going on for this hit?
This round, I got some bangers and mash coming right up. Now, our bangers and mash are an Irish banger. It's a traditional banger. We serve it with mashed potatoes, and we actually import our beans from Ireland. All imported.
So those are coming from Ireland?
Yes,
Fresh
sir.
from Ireland?
Off the boat. A little bit of parsley on the top, just for a little bit of color. And why don't you give that a try? Let me know how you like it.
Okay. All right, Chef. Let me get the beans in. We got to get the protein in. I love the garnish here, though. That's smooth right there.
Glad you like it,
when
sir.
it comes to St. Patty's Day weekend, though, what's selling more? Bangers and mash, shepherd's pie, or is there something else?
I gotta give it a corned beef and cabbage.
Corned beef and cabbage?
We sell a lot of stuff, though. All of our Irish fare sells pretty well this weekend. People come out all year for it.
And I want to know, you're half Irish.
Yes, sir.
What's your favorite thing about St. Patty's Day weekend or St. Patty's Day?
Just the camaraderie between people. Everyone kind of brings everyone together. Everyone forgets about what they got going on. So it's always a nice piece. I love it.
Well, thank you, Chef. I'm going to come back after this hit. We're going to finish this off. I got to eat breakfast, guys. I got to eat breakfast. Chef, we're going to check back in with you in the next half hour. I'm sure something's going to be whipped up back here.
Sounds fantastic. Thank you.
We're going to be headed out. Ate some food. I got to listen to some good music. Thanks to Damian Mulconry. We're drinking well as well. This is top shelf. What is this over here?
That's Booker's Bourbon.
Booker's Bourbon.
Yes, sir.
We've been sipping this slowly throughout the morning. Thank you, sir. This is very expensive stuff, so we're gonna nurse this for the morning. Head over to the Connemara Social Club. I'm talking to Jack this morning, all right? Set that bad boy down. Jack, I'm going to interrupt you for a second.
Oh, all right.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I want to address the instrument. That is not a guitar.
This is not a guitar. This is a mandolin.
Mandolin. How easy is it to play, or how hard is it to play in comparison to the guitar? Because you say you like to stick with the strings.
I stick with the strings. It's there's something similar, except it's in reverse and it's upside down. So after that, I can't think about what I need to do. I just know that what.
When it comes to playing up here with these guys, how fun is it?
Oh my gosh, it's magic. It's kismet. It's a delight.
Favorite part about St. Patty's Day?
The music, of course.
Okay. And what are you guys gonna? We're gonna play it back to Dan and Abby, back to studio once again. I gotta serenade you guys when we're here at Mulconry's. What are we gonna be playing back to back to studio?
Oh, this is Velvet Band, a song from Belfast.
There we go.
Northern
Take it
Ireland.
away. I'm gonna finish my drink. Take it away.
It's nice. It's fun.
It is.
It's fun.
It's such a fun holiday.
He has
too.
got such a good gig today. I'll tell you what.
I'll tell you what, I never had to do this stuff. I never got to do this stuff when I was a morning reporter.
I'll tell you what. I'd like to make this an Irish coffee this morning. Okay.
No one is stopping you. I think McLean's got some stuff in his desk.
Yeah, over in the
Pretty
Weather
sure.
Center.
We got to check.
Yeah, that's not coffee in his cup, that's for sure. Hey, stick around. When we come back, we're going to be we're joined by meteor. We better stop dogging him. Mark McLean, he's here with some weather trivia.
He's going to make it really hard. We're back after this. meteorologist Mark McLean is here, looking at another big swing in the weather.
Yeah.
And also some weather trivia for us.
Yeah,
A
fun
different
stuff.
story today than, what was it, 1993?
Yeah, it was
Is that what we're
crazy.
talking about?
I mean,
Yeah.
we've got some video of that storm back on the 13th and 14th in 1993. This storm was historic for many areas, down all the way from Florida up through Maine. So when the low pressure center was actually on the Gulf Coast, it was already snowing in western New York. So the actual center of the storm
It was that big.
It was huge. It took up the eastern third of the United States. And, even back in the day, watching some of the computer data, it nailed the forecast for this storm. But you look at some of the amounts. Mount LeConte in Tennessee, there were 50 inches of snow. I mean, there was historic snowfall. Florida had its all-time snow records at that time. Of course, those were broken about a month ago in a system that slid on by. But, even Syracuse, New York had 43 inches of snow with this system. And I can't give you the amount of snow that we had, because that is our trivia question of the day. Let's take a peek.
Okay.
Ready? We can
ready.
take a look at this. Back in March 13th and 14th, 1993, how much snow fell during that storm in Rochester? And there's the responses. 17.5. Was it 23.2, 28.4, 35 inches of snow? Buffalo had 17 inches of snow. Syracuse had 43, just to give you a little hint across the area. This was a paralyzing storm, state of emergency in the area. The snow drifted up to the roof line of the middle school in Spencerport. That's how much snow fell. And it was 50-mile-per-hour winds for the entire night. Lightning and thunder all throughout the night, too, as that storm moved on through. So it was thunder, snow, just some wild stuff. But what do you think?
I'm going to go with C.
C? Okay.
I'm feeling good about that one.
Feeling good?
Yeah.
Yeah? Dan's thinking on it. He's going to stew
Yeah,
on
I'm
it.
gonna hold off.
Hold off, okay.
I'm gonna hold off.
Okay, we'll circle back and take a look at the answer.
I'm wondering, though, producer Ashley, can you pull that video back up one more time of 1993? This just crossed my mind. The juxtaposition of seeing these first responders. I mean, you typically see these firefighters dealing with extreme heat, but they're out here in, what was the temperature?
The temperature plummeted. It was below zero before the storm arrived. We were -1 the morning before.
And you can see that wind.
Yeah.
God love these people for showing up day in and day out, responding to every call and every need that people have.
Yeah.
So just quick props to
It was
our men
Arctic.
and women in uniform.
It was absolutely Arctic. And, we're talking about the middle of March here.
Yeah.
After this storm went through, another wave of cold swept through. We were sub-zero again. We had some school days, whatever you want to call them, off because of the cold that swept in behind that storm system, too.
Wow.
Yeah.
It is really remarkable. And
Yeah.
how long did it last?
It was a 2-day storm, but it was really, most of the snow fell in about 12 hours for Rochester, and for many areas it was just 3-4 inch an hour kind of snowfall, so it was just paralyzing. But,
So 3 to 4 an hour.
yeah.
Oh,
And
boy.
50
Oh, boy.
For how many hours?
Uh-oh. I see the math.
Look at you.
Let's change the
stealth.
topic. Change the
That was
topic. Let's go
stealth.
back to those weather graphics. I just want to squeeze this in because I don't think we'll have time at the 9 o'clock hour. The total lunar eclipse tonight.
Yes.
The odds of that are looking much better. Check out the
Nice.
forecast overnight. We're going to see those clouds thin out for us. And, by 2 o'clock in the morning, I think we're going to be in pretty good shape. You see the skies mainly clear, so we're hoping to get a good glimpse at that tomorrow morning. Again, the timing on this would start after 1 o'clock in the morning. By 2:26, that total eclipse begins at that point. And by about 3 o'clock in the morning, that's what the moon's going to look like on the right-hand side of your screen. We're going to get this orangish moon, and we're hoping to get a time lapse of that later tonight to show you tomorrow morning on the air.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, if you are awake or planning on waking up to see that, make sure to share your photos with us, 13wham.com/chime in. We'll start airing them right at 5 in the morning if we have enough.
We definitely want to see them.
Yeah, it'll be good. Good show.
Absolutely.
All
Thank
right.
you, sir.
Yep.
Time right now is 8:30. When we come back here on ARC Rochester, we still have a lot to get to.
We certainly do. We're back on the other side of the break. this Thursday morning. Thanks so much for sticking with us here on Arc Rochester. Spring right around the corner now, Abigail, and it's the perfect time for parents to check in with their students and prepare for those upcoming June exams.
Yeah, for more on how to make sure your student is ready for the end of the year, we're joined now by Susan Sterren from Sylvan Learning. Good to see you, as always. I'm sure that there are a lot of students and a lot of parents out there that are starting to feel a little bit of pressure.
Yes, you know, people kind of think, oh, we're in the home stretch, but really it's spring forward. This is the time to kind of reset, get organized, and get back on track because we're only 2/3 of the year done, and the most important things are still ahead of us. We have New York State tests for our 3rd through 8th graders. We have AP exams, SAT tests, Regents exams, so all the big things. So we really need to make sure that we help kids stay organized and that we check in both with them and with their teachers to make sure they're on track.
I'm stressing just hearing the names of some of those tests. What can families do then? How do you approach that that spring check-in with the teacher and with your student at home?
Well, first with your kids, a lot of times at this point of the year, their backpacks are kind of looking a little bit messy. So it might be a good time to kind of have that spring cleaning, you know, go through their bags, take things out that aren't important and not throw them away, but especially for your middle and high school kids, put them aside because you're going to need those as study materials later. But, you know, kind of clean out their bags, get new folders if they need to, set some new goals, make your kids kind of feel like, you know what, this is a good kind of reset time for me instead of, oh, I'm almost done. You know, it kind of just that change in mindset can make a big difference. So kind of resetting on a positive note can start them forward with seeing that these exams and kind of end of year tasks are important.
It's kind of, at least for me, it kind of reminds me of cleaning a house, right? They say if you have a clean house, you have a clean mind.
Exactly.
Kind of same thing goes with the desk and the backpack and the lunchbox and all of that stuff. You can't really focus on doing your best if all of your stuff is scattered around.
Absolutely. And when kids feel overwhelmed by their things, by their bags, then they, you know, start to lose that organizational system. You know, school requires a lot of stamina and, you know, helping kids develop those skills is important too. So not that you're giving up, but that you're kind of resetting, that you're feeling good, that you're having that spring restart and refresh. And that will be really important for kids to kind of help them get through these hard things in the future. Also, checking in with teachers is really important. Yeah, you know, we don't want to wait till the end of the year because the end of the year is crazy and teachers are busy. So maybe checking in now, seeing how kids are doing. If there's things that you need to do to make changes or prepare for summer, you know, this is a good time to really hear about those things instead of trying to scramble at the last minute.
When we reach out, what kind of things are we checking in for? Like, do we want to know if there's extra credit that Johnny and Sally can do to boost that grade? What do we ask?
Yeah, you know, extra credit is always great, but really getting a kind of final temperature check on how your kids are doing for the year. If they've been struggling, are they making some improvement? If they were doing okay, but maybe seem to be sliding a little bit, what's going on? What can you do to help them get back on track? And then start to put those pieces into place right now and don't wait. Because really what the changes you make now is what's going to set these kids up for the future and success and not feel that stress during exam time.
I would imagine too, a lot of people think, well, I'm almost done with the academic year. It's too late at this point to catch up on everything. I'm just going to try to get through exams best I can.
We hear that a lot, and it's not too late. You know, you still have plenty of time. So taking the time to really do your best to figure out what changes you can make. You know, we hear from so many families kind of last minute, you know, weeks before exams. It's better to kind of look at it now, start preparing. You can really kind of jump your curve and make some changes. I don't want any kids or parents to feel like it's too late.
Outside of cleaning things up, getting things in order, talking to the teachers, is there anything we can do to help our student who may, you know, still feel, regardless of how put together things are, still feels a bit frazzled about all of it, stressing that they're not going to pass this AP exam, stressing that the SATs, they're 2 years away, I need to be ready now?
Yeah. Yeah. You have to kind of read your child. And if they need some extra help, then it's time to reach out, whether that's to a teacher, whether that's to us at Sylvan. Finding resources to help take that stress off of your child. Some kids can prepare for all of these exams on their own, and then others can't. They need that guidance. They need someone to help them keep on track. They need that instruction and kind of direct practice with skills. So you have to know your child and what they need, and then seek out those resources so that you can help them feel successful.
If I'm remembering correctly, I'm sorry, we're running out of time. Susan, for those who want to learn more about the services that you offer at Sylvan, let's get the website.
Yes, you can always reach out to us at sylvanlearning.com. We're always glad to help.
Awesome.
Perfect. And we'll post all of that information and much more on 13wham.com as well as foxrochester.com.
Much more to get to here on ARC Rochester. When we come back, we are going to check in with Chris Lopez. He is checking out some Irish eats this morning.
He is. And hey, we are streaming live on YouTube. We're back after this.
Welcome back. St. Patrick's Day weekend is just a couple of days away, and Rochester always has so much to do. Dancing, eating, drinking, parades. Eating again.
Eating. Chris Lopez has been eating all morning, trying some Irish drinks as well. He's mixing up some Irish cocktails this morning. He's listening to some Irish music. He's live at Mulconry's Irish Pub and Restaurant, trying some stuff right off the menu. What do you got now?
Guys, so this is the first time I've tried mashed potatoes since I kicked them off the ledge in the Army. Long story short, they promised us a good hot meal. They ended up serving us mashed potatoes. Ever since then, I have absolutely hated mashed potatoes. And Chef John over here is telling me that these mashed potatoes are a little bit different than those nasty Army mashed potatoes. So we're gonna try this. First time in about, 2014. Let's see. Chef, I hate them still. No, I'm just kidding. Those are smooth. I like that. Very smooth. Now, how long have you been cooking?
Well, I've been in kitchens about half my life. I've been in kitchens for about 15 years. And I've been cooking for probably half of that. So I started as a dishwasher, worked my way all the way up. So I can't complain.
St. Patty's Day. You cook the same dish. You cook this year round. This is not a St. Patty's Day thing.
Yes, sir.
You are used to cooking this stuff.
Oh, yeah.
During St. Patty's Day, does this have an uptick in sales, or does it pretty much stay the same because you guys serve it all year round?
The Irish Fair definitely bumps up a little bit throughout the year, kind of falls off, but we sell it all the time, every day. But during St. Patrick's Day, you can't beat it. People love the Irish Fair.
And what's it like working here on St. Patty's Day? Is it crazy?
It's pretty nuts. We're working all day, every day, so I can't complain. We're keeping busy, definitely. It's lots of food, open to close.
Thank you so much, Chef, for reinvigorating my hatred for mashed potatoes. Just kidding. Those were very smooth. I love the beans. Beans were very creamy. Then the bangers. Long story short, World War I, the reason why they're called bangers, food was very scarce in Europe. So they used to load the sausage with bread and water, and when you cooked them, boom, they bang. Hence the term bangers and mash. Thank you, Chef. I'm going to head out. I'm going to grab this bad boy right here. Headed over to the owner here of Mulconry's, Damien Mulconry. We're pouring a Guinness.
Yeah, you want to pour one?
I'm gonna try. Yeah, let's try and pour one. I was a little bit afraid of this because it takes a lot of technique to pour a correct Guinness. There's a lot of tech on here. I can't mess it up. And on Tuesday, I really messed up a pour.
I got a little trick here for you. Do follow the lead over here. And you're all
Okay.
good. There you
All
go,
right.
my friend.
All right.
Point to Guinness. It's another one already for you to finish off. All the way.
It's near the heart.
It's a good thing you got the job you have.
Boom, right?
That'll do.
Right here.
You can put it out.
And then
You leave
you
it
let
settle.
it sit, and then what?
It just settles. Leave it over for over a minute.
That
Settles.
comes up right there.
Yep.
We'll probably finish that bad boy off. I gotta drink the Guinness here.
Push this one back to finish it off. So take this.
Oh,
And then push it back. Okay. All the way. Straight. Keep it straight. There you go, my friend. All right, you're good. And drink straight away.
cheers.
Cheers. Happy St. Patrick's Day.
St. Patty's Day. How crazy is it gonna be?
Busiest day of the year. I can't wait. It's gonna be a time. We got live music. We got bagpipers. We got dancers coming in. It's one of my busiest days. It is the busiest day of the year.
Does it ever get old to you?
No, not at all. It's
not
like
at all.
it's
You
great.
wake up for this stuff,
It's like Christmas to me.
and you
It's
get a
great.
2-for-1.
I get a 2-for-1 because the parade is always the Saturday before St. Patrick's Day. So this year we have it on a Saturday and a Monday. So the Saturday will be the busier day when everyone's coming out and about. But Monday will be a good day as well. So it's going to be all weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. So I'm looking forward to going to sleep Tuesday.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for hosting us this morning.
Thank you very much.
Showing me how to pour the Guinness. We're going to walk over to the Connemara Social Club. They have been playing music for us, fabulous music for us throughout the morning. I want to talk to the fellas very briefly. What excites you most about playing on St. Patty's Day? You guys play music throughout the year, but you guys are going to be up here playing live for everyone. What gets you guys up and going?
Probably the energy of the crowd.
Energy of
You
the
know,
crowd.
that day especially, people just love the atmosphere and the culture and the music, so it's fun to be a part of that.
Favorite part about playing with these guys?
Oh my gosh, it's the magic. These are the high days, and it's a delight to be here putting out music for this event.
And what can people look forward to on Monday?
Oh, you got to know the spirit is here. Everybody wants to be Irish for a day at least. And those that are Irish, we understand the difference. But know that you're going to have fun no matter what you are.
And guys, briefly, I'm going to send you off with a little bit of Serenation to end the show. Connemara Social Club, set it off, boys.
Tim Finnegan lived on Mulconry Street, a gentle Irishman might he had a brogue so rich and sweet. Rise in the world, he carried a hot seed, a sort of a tiddling way. The love of the liquor, poor Tim was born, help him on his way each day. The drop of the
I just want to say, we're having so much fun. It's not even St. Patrick's
I know.
Day. Can you imagine how Monday's going to be?
Well, listen.
What's he doing Monday?
Chris is having even more fun than any of us, I
know.
think, out there today.
Let's take this show on the road.
And we should.
Off we go, Monday.
Hey, stick around. When we come back, we're getting an exclusive look at the upcoming RPO Pops season.
We're back after this.
The Rochester Philharmonic Orchestra is getting ready for its brand new 2025-26 pop season. And this year they're premiering a wide range of different concerts.
This morning we're very excited to be getting an exclusive first look at the upcoming season. For more, we're joined now by Principal Pop's conductor, Jeff Tyzik. Jeff, good to see you as always. I cannot believe we're here once again getting ready for the next pop season.
I know, it's crazy. We're in the middle of 24-25, and we're going to tell you about 25-26, which we've been planning for quite a while.
All right, so let's get into it. We would love to learn about the preview.
Well, we're premiering some great new concerts. Valentine's Day, Endless Love, R&B ballads with great Chester Gregory, who starred in Motown, and Shayna Steele, who starred in Rent. Our own Herb Smith is conducting R&B love songs. Stevie Wonder, Ashford and Simpson, Roberta Flack. That's going to be a great one. Opening the season with Summer Breeze, also known as Yacht Rock. And we have Christopher Cross music and Steely Dan, Michael McDonald, and Toto, Africa. What a great piece. A little bit later in the year, we have rock stars of the 60s and 70s, Laurel Canyon, Joni Mitchell, James Taylor, Mamas and the Papas, Carly Simon, Crosby, Stills and Nash. We're recreating our space concert from the Eclipse concert. Everybody's still talking about that a year and a half later. This time in the Eastman Theatre, we're building out the stage. We have Troupe Vertigo coming. Troupe Vertigo did 3 pieces on the Eclipse concert. They're going to be doing 7 pieces on this one. We have Madrigalia, the orchestra. It's going to be a phenomenal recreation of the Eclipse concert. We're doing the 8th Harry Potter film. This is the final one. Orchestra playing to the Harry Potter. So we have quite a list of great things. And of course, our Gala Holiday Pops, I start thinking about that the day after the concert lasted in the fall, in December. When that concert ends, I walk out the door and I'm thinking, well, what are we going to do next year? And of course, for the 33rd season, we're going to have back the Festival High School Chorale, these incredible young people that just make us smile and feel warm and beautiful in this great holiday season. That's kind of a glimpse in kind of what we're doing.
Jeff, I mean, it sounds absolutely incredible, but I want us to let us into your mind a little bit into how you come up with this. What is the inspiration behind this lineup? Is it something that inspires each different show, each idea that you've got? Or is there an underlying theme that a season ticket holder could go to all of these shows and kind of sew these pieces together?
The underlying theme is something that is incredible, something that touches you. Every concert is different. Every concert is exciting. It starts with me. If I'm not excited about the idea, it's not going to go on stage. And next, I have to know that all of the music, even the pop rock stuff, I can arrange in a symphonic way that excites the musicians of the orchestra, because they have to transmit that energy and that excitement to the audience. And then I know this music is going to touch the audience. We have music from all different generations, and then something for children, and try to encompass the entire Rochester community. And it's just something that is, exciting for me to put together and to think about. And I want to do something where I feel like I can't wait to get on stage. And that's how I come up with it. I think you can tell I'm a little over the top on this, but I love every single concert we're doing.
I would not say over the top at all.
No.
I think it makes for great entertainment and a great show. We're running low on time, but I just want to ask what it feels like when you hand out the music, the orchestra gets the folder, and they open it all up and they're looking through. I imagine it's just excitement and it's just joy from everybody.
It is. Everybody, I see smiles as we start to, like this year we did the New Wave concert, and I realized most of the people in the orchestra, that was their music. And as they started playing the pieces, I could see smiles in their eyes lighting up. Hey, I grew up to that music. So yeah, they get really excited about it. And we really have a great time together. I love this group of musicians. They're my family. And it's kind of like we're all opening Christmas presents at the same time. It feels like that.
Jeff Tyzik, thank you so much for your time this morning. We really appreciate it, and we wish you nothing but the best for the remainder of the 25 season and for the upcoming 25-26 season. So thank you very much, and we will post all of this information and much more if you want to get tickets on foxrochester.com.
Time right now is 8:54. Much more to get to on Arc Rochester as we continue into the 9 o'clock hour.
Stick around. Arc Rochester returns right after this.
Good Thursday morning. I'm Christian Garzone. Thanks for tuning in. Here is your Arc Rochester news break. Breaking overnight, one person is dead and two others injured after a police chase ended in a head-on crash on Rochester's north side. Irondequoit police say around 8 o'clock, an officer spotted a Kia with improper plates driving south on Portland Avenue. When the officer tried to pull the car over, the driver took off. Moments later, the Kia hit a median, veered into oncoming traffic, and crashed head-on into another car. The driver of the Kia, a 62-year-old man, was rushed to Strong Memorial Hospital, but did not survive. Two people in the other car, a 61-year-old man and a 60-year-old woman, were also hurt. They're in the hospital with serious injuries, but are expected to survive. No names been released. The State Attorney General's office is investigating. The Rochester League of Women Voters is raising concerns over a new voter registration bill moving through Congress. The SAVE Act would require proof of citizenship, like a passport or birth certificate, to register to vote. Supporters say it prevents fraud, but opponents argue it could disenfranchise voters, including married women whose legal names may differ from their birth documents.
If we have a birth certificate, if that's our proof of citizenship, a lot of women change their names either when they get married or when they start living with someone. They could bring in a birth certificate, but they wouldn't have a proof that why they have the last name that they've been using all those years.
However, the Monroe County Republican Party argues the bill will ensure only U.S. citizens are voting in federal elections. In a statement, Chairman Patrick Riley said in part, quote, "While the SAVE Act may need some refining, the concerns about disenfranchising married women are a red herring. The act is, in fact, something that mandates the creation of a process to prevent citizens with legal name changes from disenfranchisement." Arraignment today for the man charged in a deadly shooting inside a Rochester apartment. Police say 53-year-old Michael Bowie turned himself in yesterday after allegedly killing 35-year-old Jamel Allen over the weekend. Investigators say Bowie shot Allen in the back of the head during an argument inside a Manor Parkway apartment early Sunday morning. Today he'll be arraigned on charge of murder and criminal possession of a weapon. Also today, sentencing for one of two women accused in a violent carjacking and kidnapping in Rochester. 26-year-old Ciaria Baker faces charges including kidnapping and assault. Prosecutors say last September she and Shante Hall carjacked Allison Smith on North Clinton Avenue, forcing her to drive at gunpoint before allegedly beating her. Smith previously told 13 Wham the attack started after she asked for spare change. For all these top stories and any new developments, visit our website, 13wham.com. Stick around, ARC Rochester. We'll be back right after this.
Good Thursday morning. It's 9 o'clock this March 13th. Thanks for sticking with us. I'm Dan Schrack.
I'm Abby Fridman. Meteorologist Mark McLean joining us now with a check of the forecast and the results for our weather trivia. I like this. This is fun.
It is.
I'd like it more if I was doing better, I suppose.
What, 2 for 2, right?
Yes.
2 for 2.
No,
Not yet?
0.
Not yet?
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. Let's take a peek. We're getting some responses on Facebook, on Twitter. Today's the anniversary of the superstorm on March 13th, 14th, 1993. How much snow fell in Rochester during that storm? The answers 17.5, 23.2, 28.4, and 35. The correct answer was about 2 feet of snow, 23.2 inches, and that fell during that 2-day stretch. Most of that snow fell in about a 12-hour period with 50-mile-an-hour winds. So the drifts were just huge after that storm system. So, you know, Syracuse off to our east had much more, but this went all the way down to Florida. This was a map from the National weather service from NOAA. And some parts of Tennessee had more than 50 inches of snow. Syracuse, where you see that red dot, they had 43 inches of snow. Keep in mind, that all fell in the same amount of time that Rochester had our
That's
snowfall.
incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, can you imagine that? That's almost 4 feet of snow in less than a day. It's just an incredible system. And, you compare it to some of the bruisers that we've had in the past. We talked about this one a week ago.
March Mayhem.
Yeah, it was March Mayhem, March Madness.
Yep.
There's all sorts of weather puns that we could put in here. But that 2 to 3 day event back in '99, also an unforgettable period of time here. 2 nor'easters, 40.7. This one just by itself, and again in short duration, is the third biggest March storm on that list right there. But I'm happy to say for our walkers out there this morning that you're not going to experience anything like that. We've got dry pavement for you. You've got temperatures that are going to be moving from the cool range this morning in the 30s back into the mid-50s by this afternoon. Lots of sunshine for you as we move through the day. And thinking ahead, this leprechaun, he's just...
Still dancing.
I don't think we're going to be able to get rid of this
guy. That guy's like the Energizer Bunny, only for beer.
He goes and goes and goes. Breezy, warm day Saturday, upper 60s. We'll be in the mid-60s on Sunday. Better chance of a shower on Sunday. Saturday looks mainly dry at this point, and the extended forecast, as you expect this time of the year, we get the big swings. We'll go back from the 60s into the 40s by Monday, back to the 60s by Wednesday. So, keep everything that you've got in the wardrobe laid out. You're going to need it at some point.
Ashley, we skipped past it, but can we pull those results up, those comments on social media quickly?
Oh, that's right.
See what people at home are saying about that question.
Oh, there we go.
How they did.
Oh, Gary got it right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember news reports from areas that got a lot more snow than we did.
Yep.
I don't remember it being all that bad. Syracuse got almost double what
Oh,
we
that
did.
for Peter, that kind of stinks. You had 2 days trying to get to Miami to take a cruise, never made it. Insurance for the trip, that kind of thing.
And stuck at LaGuardia for 2 days.
Not great.
Yeah.
Not great.
What else? Diane, I remember the ice storm, but not the snowstorm. I'll go with C. Diane, I was with you. Sorry, my friend.
And this was the end of a 3-year stretch. We had a big storm in '91. We had the ice storm. '92, we talked about it yesterday. We had the 17.5-inch storm on the 12th, and there's the storm from '93. So it was like boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
And we got to March 4, and everybody's like, "Where's the storm?
Yeah.
Where's the storm?" And never happened.
Which was, probably a relief for a lot of people as well.
Yeah, and you get to this time of the year, we're talking about parade weather and all the rest of that too, which looks pretty good. People just want to get by it. Just want to kind of step around it. Want to see some of the bulbs popping up out of the ground, the snowdrops, the crocus, the daffodils that we'll get to, and just move on.
Yeah.
How soon? I mean, we had a viewer image yesterday, chime in photo. Somebody shared their snowdrops popping up. How long before we get inundated with pictures like that?
It won't be long. With temperatures in the 60s on Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
The next few days.
Yeah. I would imagine anybody that has the early spring bulbs will have flowers by the end of the weekend for sure.
Ooh, look at that. Yeah. Something to look forward to.
Yeah, I can't wait. I love seeing those little crocus. Those things are tough.
They are.
The temperature drops back down in the teens, and they bounce back like it's nothing.
Absolutely.
It's crazy.
Yeah, I don't know. To me, I always feel like they're waving. Like they're like, hello, spring is here.
Yeah,
That's what it seems like.
And it's such a reassuring sign after, a bleak several months of winter weather that, the doom and gloom and that gray pile of who knows what at the end of the driveway, by the end of the season, that's going to disappear at some point. The grass will be green.
Those little crocus are waving something else at winter, too.
Yeah, they certainly are. Individually, yes.
Yeah, didn't say waving what.
Yeah, exactly. Good stuff.
Yeah.
What is the official countdown?
Oh, do we have it? Oh, there it is. Just 7 days.
7 days, 14 hours, 51 minutes, and 31 seconds.
Till the equinox party back in the forecast center.
Yes. Oh, well, and we've got that. You talked about it a little bit earlier, but make sure you share those photos with us.
Yeah, can't wait to see them.
The red moon.
Yeah.
That's
the
lunar eclipse tonight.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely.
13wham.com/chime in.
Boom. That's where it is. Thanks so much, McLean. Appreciate it.
Yep.
Time right now is 9:08. Stick around. We still have a lot to get to coming up on ARC Rochester. When we come back, we're learning more about Rochester's influence on film.
Ooh, that's interesting. And hey, don't forget, you can watch us wherever you go. Right now, we're streaming on the 13 Wham YouTube channel. Yes, that's right. We are live right now. Stick around. Arc Rochester returns after this. Thanks for sticking with us this Thursday morning, 9/11 right now. The Dryden Theatre at the George Eastman Museum is currently hosting a series called From Rochester with Love, and it highlights directors, actors, writers, all who have connection to the Flower City.
Yeah, this morning we're learning more about the series and some of the films that will be shown. For more, we're joined now by film curator from Dryden Theatre, Jared Case. Good morning to you. Thank you for being here.
Oh, happy to be here.
This is a really, really cool series that you guys are doing.
I thought it was. Yeah, I came up with the idea actually about a year and a half ago because we try to do these big year-long series, and I thought this would be a great one. And then as I got into the research, there were so many more connections that I didn't even realize.
So let's get into it then. Tell us about some of the films.
Well, this is a big weekend for us because we've got the Ingrid Bergman, Humphrey Bogart trifecta going on. I've got Intermezzo tonight, which was her first, Ingrid Bergman's first American film. She was brought over from Sweden for that. Tomorrow we're doing a Humphrey Bogart film with The Treasure of the Sierra Madre, and then we'll have them both together on Saturday night for Casablanca.
I mean, it's really incredible. And some of the names that have ties to the city, I'm sure there's a plethora, and I'm sure there are some that you couldn't even get to on this list.
Oh, well, sure. It's intended to be an ongoing series. It'll go as long as I need it to. But, you know, there's people we haven't gotten to yet, like Taye Diggs or Kristen Wiig, that I'd love to do later in the year.
And they all have connections some way to Rochester.
Well, yeah, Ingrid Bergman lived here for 2 years while her husband was studying at U of R. And Humphrey Bogart actually summered on Seneca Lake when he was a young boy. So up until about 1918, when he was 17 or 18, he would come in summer in the Rochester area.
That's really cool.
That is cool.
It's pretty incredible. Okay, what other films can we expect?
Well, we've got Silk Stockings coming up, directed by Ruben Mamoulian, who was hired by George Eastman to come and run the opera company here, and he actually taught at the Eastman School of Music. We've got a Cab Calloway program coming up in April. A lot of rare soundies. These are basically like early music videos that people would play on a jukebox and watch them, along with a feature for that. We've also got, there's two brothers, Garson and Michael Kanan, who were both born in Rochester, both Oscar-nominated screenwriters. So, and they've both worked on Spencer Tracy, Katharine Hepburn films. So we did Woman of the Year last week, and we're doing Pat and Mike, which was Garson and Ruth Gordon's film.
You know what I wonder? As the curator, I'm sure you know a lot of film history, but also a lot of Rochester history. I want to know, when you're compiling these lists, when you're coming up with these ideas to Rochester with Love, are there any names that come up on a list and you say, I had no idea, that are shocking, that are surprising to you, the ties, the connections that they have to the area?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. I feel like I never know enough, so it's always constant research, and I'm adding names, people are suggesting things, but Humphrey Bogart was one of those names that I had no idea. Jim Memmott, a longtime editor at the DNC, was very helpful. He's got a remarkable Rochesterian series that he runs. But Betty Davis acted here for a year on stage. Back in the silent era, there was a woman born here named Edith Johnson, who was known as the Kodak Girl. So all of those early advertisements that you see with a woman holding the camera, that was Edith Johnson. She got into acting as well. So lots and lots of people.
Absolutely.
That's incredible.
And, you know, one of the things I love about this list of films and things that you've talked about and we have here on our rundown, there are some that you will instantly recognize, and then there are others where you think, I have never heard of that, and I want to see it.
I actually opened my introduction last night with that. It's one of the joys of doing this is that I do get to bring the films to the public that they may not have heard of, or even if it stars Henry Fonda or Bette Davis or Ingrid Bergman. But then you get to see it in the best possible way on the big screen, usually on 35 millimeter film with an audience, and that's what cinema is meant to be.
The way it was intended.
Exactly.
Really incredible. Jared, for somebody sitting at home who says, okay, I'm sold. I mean, some of these names, they were already sold before you even walked in the room. Where do they go to get ticketing information and showtimes and all that good stuff?
Yeah, so we've got a page on our website for each of the series that we run. So all of the films from Rochester with Love are going to be added there. And you can get tickets at our website, too. It's eastman.org/Dryden.
Very good. Thank you so much, Jared. We appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
And we'll put all the show information that you need to know over on foxrochester.com.
Stick around. Much more to come right here on Arc Rochester, including when we come back. We're going to be joined by Christian Garzone for our Reporter Recap.
We're back after this. Time for a reporter recap this Thursday morning. We'll review some of the local stories that we've been following closely.
Yeah, this morning we're revisiting a story on the former Rochester mayor, that's Lovely Warren, and former police chief LaRon Singletary, both appearing in federal court earlier this week in connection to a case calling for changes in police response at protests.
Yeah, Christian Garzone has been following the story for us this morning. And Christian, let's get a recap of this story in general, because it was a handful of years ago now.
It was. I mean, 5 years on, we're still sort of talking about this stuff. This was sort of a hearing before this actually takes place. What they're calling for in the actual sort of case is they want to see changes in the way police respond to people, particularly people of color, and protests. Also calling for monetary compensation for people in the protests who had their First and Fourth Amendment rights violated. More on that in a second. This was really a hearing before all this to see if the defense, Corporation Counsel, could represent 3 defense members. Former Mayor Lovely Warren, former Police Chief LaRon Singletary, and the city as a whole, because everyone is sort of at odds with each other. Those 3 entities are. They all sort of made conflicting statements in the wake of Daniel Prude's arrest and death and the investigation with the state attorney general. It's kind of all over the place a little bit. You had LaRon Singletary sort of say, like, there was nothing wrong done with the approach with Daniel Prude, the restraint involved, the protests, there was nothing wrong there. You had Mayor Lovely Warren coming out and saying kind of the opposite of that. And then statements from the city, just on the record, talking to media back in the day, that were in conflict with both of them. So it was kind of all over the place. And these were news clips that were from our local stations here in Rochester and everything. So this was really a sort of precursor, like a hearing to see, can Corporation Counsel represent these 3, or should we branch off and have, you know, 3 separate entities representing these 3 folks.
Tell me if I'm getting in the weeds here, and this.
Oh, we're already in there. We're already
just
there.
Came to me, and you may not have the answer, so please let me know. But is it not a conflict of interest for Corporation Counsel to be representing themselves and 2 former leaders of the city, one of whom was let go by one of them?
Right. No, that's a very good question. And this question came up as well. So the judge is going to look at all this stuff and issue a written decision. He's sort of weighing all this right now. So he adjourned everything. We'll have to wait and see what he says, because that was brought up on Tuesday. There's a lot to get here with this case. You're talking about 5 years of our local history here with so many levels and layers to it, the center of which is Daniel Prude.
Mm-hmm. I imagine that the feeling in that room was rather tense, and I imagine that the response you've had from the community has been maybe just as tense. This is a conversation and a topic that people are very passionate about.
Very much so. And Mr. Singletary was over Zoom, so they weren't actually sitting together. But I had a very nice elevator ride down with the former mayor. She was very pleasant, and we had a nice exchange. But yeah, if you look at some of the comments, some of the feedback we've gotten in, passions are still very hot over this. I think it just kind of, even when Dan and I were talking about this, it sort of pokes those feelings from back in the day, because we were out there for the protests and everything, night after night after night. Everyone kind of has a resurgence of what it was like 5 years ago for this. Just the awful death that happened, the protests that followed, and just the calls for justice that, you know, rightfully went on for a extended duration. And even at court was Stanley Martin, who's a plaintiff in this case, city council member, and Shay Herbert with Free the People Rock. I think we have sound from the lawyer Elliot Shields and also those 2 ladies who were there. Correct me if I'm wrong, I thought we had sound.
Yeah, I think it's so important because the Daniel Prude case revealed a lot about what happens within the city of Rochester and the police department. And it's very sad remembering Daniel Prude and also knowing some of these uses of force, harm to Black residents are still occurring within our city. And we know that based on recent reports from the Police Accountability Board and the investigations that they put out. So 5 years later, we're hoping that this administration has a sense of urgency and works on changing the practices and policies of our PD that we're fighting for.
Yeah, 5 years later, we have a community that is still mourning. We have a brother that is still mourning. And in addition to that mourning, we have a community that is hurt. And we need consequences for that. Like, we need answers to what the people went through 5 years ago. We can't just lay down and say, oh, we have the settlement and all of those things, we have to say that this system and the procedures that happened during the Daniel Pruitt case, they were wrong, they were harmful, and someone has to answer to that. So 5 years later, we're still fighting for that answer.
Now, there was a settlement with the Pruitt family and the city, and there
$12 million.
was police reform in the way of changes on the way they address mental health crisis calls, correct?
There were. So, we talked about the protest portion of this as well. And we had an interesting discussion, you and I, like how, with the protesters giving monetary compensation, do you prove that?
Yeah.
Because you were even saying, like, we were out there. But I'm more interested in that, though. Like, how would somebody would someone prove that their rights were violated out there? Because there are so many of us out there, either covering it or directly protesting. I mean, that's, I don't know, I don't want to say half the city, but there's a lot of people that see that.
Listen, there were thousands upon thousands of people out there. I mean, I have vivid memory of it, and there's video footage of it, Facebook live streams of it. A lot of us were out there covering it, and a lot of members of the Rochester community were out there taking part in those demonstrations. So it does raise a good question on how do you verify? Who are you compensating?
I don't know, and that's what I'm trying to get some answers on right now, because I think that might still is being worked out. There's also the portion of the protests where they want to call for changes in the future, how police respond to protests as well. So there's a lot to this. This was just a hearing, before all this takes place, to see, again, with that defense, can Corporation Counsel represent these three entities who are sort of at odds, in conflict with each other, and at times accusing each other of lying. So it's very, maybe interesting is the wrong word, because it's still an awful case to talk about 5 years later, but still, a lot more to come with this.
I would say it'll be interesting to see how this plays out.
Yeah, for sure.
It will. It will. All right, Christian Garzon, thank you, sir.
Thank you for having me.
Time right now, 9:26. Much more to get to on ARC Rochester.
We're back right after this. Good Thursday morning. Thanks so much for sticking with us here on ARC Rochester. We're kicking off this half hour at 9:30 with a look at what is trending.
Yeah, we're going to start out with a pretty bizarre one. TSA at a New Jersey airport say a Pennsylvania man was found to have a live turtle concealed in his pants.
The turtle was detected. The turtle was detected after a body scanner alarm went off.
Yeah?
An officer then conducted a pat-down on the man and determined
Ashley.
there was something concealed in his groin area.
Okay. When questioned further, the man reached into his pants, pulled out the turtle. The animal was 5 inches long.
That's average. Right, Mark?
And wrapped in a small blue towel. Said it was a red ear slider turtle, which is a pretty popular pet. The man was escorted from the checkpoint area and ended up missing his flight.
Mark and I turned into a bunch of 12-year-old boys with this story. The turtle was confiscated. It's unclear if the turtle was the man's pet and unclear why he had it in his pants. The incident remains under investigation, and it's not clear if the man will face any charges. Do we know how the turtle is doing?
No, not that I saw. Nothing reported on it.
Probably hiding.
Yeah, or showering just constantly, trying to clean.
I mean, it couldn't have been comfortable.
No, for the man or the turtle.
Well, yeah, but I mean, like, wouldn't... He could have curled out his leg.
Listen,
at the pant leg.
Good news is it was not a snapping turtle.
That is that's a good point. I don't know.
I don't know what goes through some people's heads. Like, you genuinely have to question.
I don't know.
A person's
I have no idea.
mental capacity if they're stuffing turtles down their pants.
I'd like to think there was a good reason. Like, I don't know. I don't know why.
Like,
there was some kind of an emergency, and there was nowhere else to put him.
That turtle needed to get to the JetBlue gate to say, "Wait, I love you," to his little turtle friend. I don't know.
He forgot it was in there.
Maybe he forgot.
I don't know how. All right, we gotta move.
Turtles in there?
What?
I forgot I left him in there.
Knew I put him somewhere.
Oh, boy. Let's move along to a beauty trend that has medical professionals speaking out.
Yeah, the latest beauty trend has people trimming their eyelashes. I saw this the other day and thought about doing it for my off the top and then changed my mind.
Why?
Why?
Mostly, yeah.
I'll tell you why. Men are taking part in this practice a lot. I'm going to tell you in a second. They've gone viral on social media, these posts. People taking an electric razor to the lash line so they have a more masculine appearance.
Oh, my God. Okay, this is where I draw the line.
Really? Turtle in your pants wasn't bad enough?
No.
Like, this is the story.
We're cutting our eyelashes off to look more masculine. The eyelashes, do you know, there's a reason we have eyelashes.
Yes, and eye doctors are saying the same thing.
Yeah, it's to prevent dust and particulate and things of that nature from going into your eyes. That's why you have eyelashes. If you're at home contemplating cutting your eyelashes, I can't say what I think of you.
Yeah.
I'll lose my job.
A lot of people are also saying it makes you look bad. So.
Well, it does. You look stupid. This guy looks dumb. And the fact that he went to a barber or some professional actually did this to them, sorry, you should, like, this is beyond ridiculous. Beyond ridiculous. How are people so dumb? It's truly. Do we have comments about this, Ashley?
All of them were very inappropriate.
Yeah, because
a lot of them I saw were coming from women saying the eyelashes on men, long eyelashes, are very attractive. So they're like, why would you get rid of that when it's like something that women like?
Because we got to be bros. That's so dumb. So dumb. You know what?
Okay, take a deep breath.
We should rebrand this segment as stupid people doing what?
These are the same people that took part in the Tide Pod Challenge, okay? Let's move on.
All right.
Let's move on. Huh.
something we can all agree on. Food stories. Pizza Hut. Hopping on a popular trend, releasing a pizza charcuterie board. Take a second.
Listen,
simmer down.
I'm all about this. The pizza chain is aiming to impress with their take on charcuterie. For $25, they are offering customers 2 medium pizzas, 8 boneless wings, and a side of breadsticks with dipping sauce.
They said you will have to provide your own charcuterie board for assembly, but it is a sure way to boost your family dinners, your get-togethers, and your date nights.
You know what would be cool if they had a Pizza Hut branded charcuterie board that they sold on the side for like $15.
That would be
and you
cool.
could get that, and that came with a side of cinnamon breadsticks and dipping sauce.
They should call you for their marketing ideas.
Honestly, I have got some good ones. The company says they're releasing this combo to more words. There we go. Follow dining trends, as well as give recognition to circular foods ahead of. That's fun.
Pie Day.
They're doing it. Yeah, they're doing it to give recognition to circular foods ahead of Pie Day.
And they picked the man with the most circular head. Rob Gronkowski. I'm sorry, that was mean.
No, it wasn't. He's probably shaving his eyelashes too.
And he's from our hometown. He's from Buffalo.
He is.
Yeah.
He is. The Gronk.
Yeah, no issues. Love it.
Yeah.
I haven't been to a Pizza Hut since I was like 6, but
Me either. Last time I was at Pizza Hut we used to book it.
Oh,
Do you remember Book It?
I am familiar with Book It.
Yeah. Book It was still a thing.
Yeah.
Move along, we're
Okay.
told. Up next, it's a new drink that's disgusting.
What?
Kind of a big deal.
Ooh. Okay. Are we done?
Are you cutting us off?
Oh, okay, there we go. Back in October, a viral trend had people mixing their Diet Coke with pickle juice. We tried it here on Arc Rochester, and we didn't really like it, but a lot of people online did. In response to the trend, the pickle brand Clausen teased a product called Just the Brine.
Yeah, now it's being released just in time for St. Patrick's Day. Starting tomorrow, pickle fans can grab a 6-pack of Just Brine. The brand recommends it being used as a cocktail mixer or a refreshing electrolyte boost.
Fans can order the product on Clausen's website starting tomorrow.
We're not using our budgetary.
Oh boy, are we.
No, we're not. I won't submit that receipt. That's disgusting. Listen, you made us drink pizza soda, and I'm still feeling that. I'm still paying for it. We're not drinking pickle juice.
It was your idea
I know.
buy it.
I know. And I regret every second. You know what I say? If we want to do just the brine, we go to the grocery store, buy some Clausen pickles, and strain the pickles out and drink just the brine. Right?
Yeah.
Is it not the same thing?
Seems like the same thing.
Seems like the same thing.
Except those are in convenient little carriers.
And fun bottles.
Fun bottles.
No.
Okay.
Can't do it. Our final story of the morning, as meteorologist Mark McLean mentioned earlier, we are expecting a total lunar eclipse early tomorrow morning. And one brand wants you to celebrate with them.
Yeah, Capri Sun launching a limited edition glow-in-the-dark pouch. It's called Moon Punch, and it's available on Amazon, Walmart, and other major retailers nationwide while the supplies last.
I can get behind this.
Can you?
I can.
Okay.
Because it's an actual thing. The juice is cosmically cherry flavored. The pouch features 8 different designs, each corresponding to a different moon phase.
The brand says they want to see this as a fun way to teach kids about moon phases, and the brand is also introducing an incentive to get kids outside.
Today and tomorrow, anyone who opens Snapchat and captures a picture of the moon can follow the lunar link for a chance to receive a free carton of Moon Punch and a flashlight to help light up the night sky. Okay, another branding idea. I don't know why we didn't make these heat sensitive, so when you held the pouch, you could actually see the phase shift. You know what I mean?
I do. Yeah. That would have been a really good idea.
I am in the wrong field. I need to.
Well, little do you know, they're actually big fans of our Arc Rochester.
Are
and
they?
Actually watch us. So.
How do you like that?
Like it.
Well, listen, it's between Capri Sun and Pizza Hut, so whoever's bringing the money.
You could just be like freelance. You
Okay,
know?
I like that.
You're your
you
own
want to be my
person.
manager?
No.
No.
I don't. I think you should be your own manager because you have the great ideas. You know, I'd be like, hey, buddy, I think you should do this. And you'd be wrong. No, here's what I'm doing instead.
Don't go anywhere, because when Arc Rochester returns, we're getting a closer look at a special comedy series coming to the Geva Theatre.
And it's not us, believe it or not. Don't forget, take us on the go wherever you are. Stream us live right now on the 13 Wham YouTube channel. We're back after this.
Will you manage me? No.
Welcome back. Starting tonight, Geva Theatre is bringing comedy to the stage in a very unique way called the Workout Room.
They certainly are. For the next 10 days, comedians will be able to work out their newest material to an audience in real time. This morning, we're getting a closer look at the show and what audiences can expect. We're joined now by comedian Gabe Mollica. Thank you so much for waking up and coming in.
So excited to be here. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. So talk to us. How did you get involved with this show and with Geva?
Yeah, so I do solo shows. So I take an hour of jokes that I do at a club in New York, and I turn them into one long story. And my first show ran off Broadway, and I brought it to the Edinburgh Fringe Festival. And so this is my sophomore show. And so I think there's a fear that my first show had some success in New York, and now I got to bring it for the second one. And the only way to do that is you need to do it in front of people. And so the Workout Room is the exact type of thing. I'm kind of thinking it as like my own personal Fringe Festival. So I get 6 hours to tell one long story every night and change stuff and move stuff around, and it's going to be really fun.
It's incredible. Really fun. And where do you get your inspiration from?
Yeah, so this new show is all about a panic attack I had looking at photos with my mom. And I was 6 months old, we were looking at a picture, and she goes, "Oh, I'm your age in this photo." And I'm like, "What do you mean?" She's like, "I'm 33. That's when I got married, bought a house, and had kids." Mm-hmm. And I'm like, "Oh no, I don't have anything." And so the show is about marriage, house, and kids, what I have instead, what my life has been like. And there's a lot of good stories, and it's a fun time. I promise. It sounds serious, but there's a lot of jokes.
So it's not depressing. People will laugh at this.
I promise. There's just some stakes.
That's good. And I would imagine you get a lot of audience members when you get up there speaking real truth, telling real stories from your past that they connect with you because they see a lot of those traits in themselves.
Totally. Yeah, the main big story from the show is my dad went back to law school when I was in high school. And so it's his career dream. He's been trying to do this for 30 years. The day he achieves his dream, I have a medical emergency. I go to the hospital. And so I get visited by all my idiot high school friends. They bring me a Fudgy the Whale from Carvel. Like, there's like goofy stuff that happens. But so those are the kind of stakes we're talking about, which is my dad achieved his career dream, and instantly it didn't matter because his kid was sick.
Yeah.
And so those are sort of the ingredients I'm playing with, and then we'll see sort of how it shapes out over the next 2 weeks.
What made you decide that this is what you wanted to pursue?
Yeah, so I fell in love with comedians like Mike Birbiglia and Hassan Minhaj and Jacqueline Novak, people who tell one long story. And Hassan Minhaj, I work with his director, Greg Wallach, and he's actually how I got connected with you guys because there's a comedian named Baron Vaughn who works at Geva. And Baron was on Grace and Frankie on Netflix, and he opens this opportunity up to comedians working on their new hour. And so stand-up feels very singular, like it's one person up there, but it's very, very collaborative. I'm having meetings all the time. I'm talking to audiences afterwards. What did you think? What did you want to know more about? And so I'm inspired by those great comedians and also just wanting to put a second special out into the world.
So much work goes into what audiences see on stage. There is hours and days and months and weeks of work that happens off stage. Take us over to Scotland for Fringe over there.
Yeah.
What was that first show like for you?
Oh, it was really exciting. So I actually started doing stand-up in Scotland. I was teaching there after college. And it's a fun story. My best friend and my girlfriend fell in love, and I was like, I need to do stand-up. Like, I need something to do.
Your best friend and your
my girlfriend. That's the
fell
first
in love?
show. Yeah, don't even worry about it. They're fine. But so I was like, I need something to do all day. And I just bought notebooks and started drinking coffee and hanging out. And what you don't see with comedians, everyone jokes, oh, we work a half hour a day, we work an hour a day, it's not that hard. But all day long, suddenly, once I bought these notebooks, I had something to do. I would call my friend, run jokes, and every gig feels like a final exam. So tonight I'm gonna be cramming, I have a final. Tonight, I'm gonna get a slice of pizza, and then I'm gonna pass out and do the whole thing again the next day.
Wow. It sounds like a really fun life.
It's a fun life. Yeah. I care very deeply about how tonight's show is going to go. I'm not thinking about Saturday, but then it'll come around and we'll care about then.
That's really incredible. Well, listen, we wish you the best of luck. For somebody sitting at home who wants to go out, wants to see the show, how do they get tickets? Where do they get the info?
Yeah, gevatheatre.org. Geva, I'm going to pronounce that right.
Yes,
gevatheatre.org. Ask Geva. I keep thinking Ask Jeeves.
Ask Jeeves.
I got you.
Ask Jeeves. Yes.
That makes sense.
A 90s reference.
Yeah.
I really want to play to our audience. And gevatheatre.org, and we'd be happy to have you. Tickets are moving, and so come be a part of this.
Awesome.
Thank you so much for coming in today. Break a leg. Very, very excited. Put all the show information for you over on foxrochester.com.
9:46 this Thursday. Stick around when Arc Rochester returns. We're getting some nutritional advice from our good friend Kelly Springer.
We're back after this.
9:49. March is National Nutrition Month, and yesterday was National Registered Dietitian Day. So now's a perfect time to focus on our health and get some advice on how to best support our bodies.
Yeah, this morning we're happy to be joined by our very good friend who's also a registered dietitian to get some tips. Kelly Springer is with us this morning. Kelly, happy belated nutritionist. What is it? National Nutritionist. Is it day, week?
Thanks for being healthy and congratulations.
And thanks for helping us out too.
You know, I love being a registered dietitian. And yes, yesterday was National Dietitian Day. And I own a dietitian company. We have 50 dietitians nationwide. So I'm so proud of my incredible women that join me every day to truly get people healthier. And that's what we do. But this is a big month because it is National Registered Dietitian Day, National Nutrition Month, World Kidney Day today, and also it's Colorectal Cancer Awareness Month. Hello, we have a lot of things happening in the month of March.
Trying to stay healthy, that is the ideal part of it, or the broad scope of all of it. Talk to us about your display there. You've got some good-looking stuff.
Yes, well, the star of the show is actually Lifeway Kefir. And there is a reason for this, because Lifeway Kefir is going to have your protein sources. So when we talk about kidneys, this is high quality protein, and it's a little bit lower in phosphorus. So it's great for our kidneys. Plus, it's going to have those live cultures, which can reduce inflammation, support your kidney function. And when it goes in the way of colorectal cancer, this can actually help as well because you have those 12 live and active cultures, which is going to help support our gut microbiome, reducing your risk of cancer as well. So it's also a good source of calcium, which has been associated with lowering your risk. So this is where this product is always in my house. If you ever come, it is always in my refrigerator. My kids love it. You can have it in the plain or in the way of flavors. So it's a great way to add into your diet to bump up and keep you healthy.
Well, send us your address.
Yeah, how often should you
Come on over.
How often should you be drinking something like that?
Every day. So with this product, you're going, like I said, you're going to be getting complete protein. So that's going to be all of your amino acids. Plus, it's very, very important to get this live culture. So let me talk about that a little bit. We call this the champagne of dairy because it has these live cultures, it goes in and actually eats up the lactose. So this is also 99% lactose free. And as it eats up the lactose, it produces more of those live bacteria. And that is fantastic for our gut biome. So it's really, really an important product to get in. Plus, there's 12 different strains, and all those different strains are really good for our gut biome as well.
That's incredible. We're running low on time. Talk to us about what else you have there.
Well, of course, you know, I love pairing it with fiber sources. So when we have these probiotics, we also need prebiotics that come from fiber-rich foods like apples and blueberries and strawberries. So the combination together is the perfect mix.
That's excellent.
Yeah.
Kelly Springer, we appreciate it. You've got one other thing there too below you, carrots, celery.
Yes,
we're
a grilled cheese pairing night tonight at our house. You do have to come over. It's really fun over here. But we're going to have a fun time tonight with New York State apples. But go to kellychoice.org to book a registered dietitian today. I'm telling you, you're going to love it.
Kelly Springer, thank you so much for your time. Always a pleasure speaking with you, my friend. Take care.
Time right now, 9:53. When we come back, our final thoughts this Thursday morning.
ARC Rochester's back after this.
exhausted.
All right, time for our final
exhausted.
thoughts here on
Saving
Arc
money. I'm
Rochester.
saving
We're
money.
talking hair care this morning.
Clearly, we don't need much of.
No, but we do. There is maintenance involved.
Maintenance, yeah.
I mean,
you seem more high maintenance than.
No, I have clippers at home. I just do it by myself. I'm saving money. Haircuts went up to like $35 a go.
Wow.
Hey, so I just went ahead and did this.
We must live in the cheap seats where I go.
Okay, wait, you do A?
Every day and a half or so, yeah.
You should just do Mark's too while you're at it. Because Mark goes once a
Where
week.
do you go?
Spencerport. I go to
Spencerport?
Yeah.
Wow.
Once a week.
Yeah. Once a week.
I just do it at home. Really, it takes me like 70 seconds, maybe less than that.
70. Look at that.
Yeah.
Time.
We're going to need a
time.
Yeah.
Right around here, yeah. It's just the hair on the sides grows so thick. My resources on top are limited. That's why I got to keep this illusion. It looks like, wow, you got hair. I do. It looks that way.
Resources on top.
They are. I think Winston Churchill said that once. Like my resources on top are limited or something. But I don't have a lot of hair on top.
Is it from stress? Because my dad, when he started losing his hair, he just would get it like right here. And it's because when he would get stressed, he'd go like this, which is what I also do now, which is why I'm having a receding hairline. But did you do that a lot? Like
It's genetics mostly. Plus, bald is in. Ladies like this. See?
LL Cool Bald.
Oh, there's just silence there from the crowd, right, audience? What do you think? I'm hearing. Yeah, well, they agree. They agree. Our live studio audience here. Yeah, there we go. All right, there we go.
Listen to that. You hear the fans screaming for you.
Yeah. No, it's bald is in. Bald is in. Thank God it is, or else I might be out of luck. Same with Mark too. But
yeah. We might be out of jobs.
Gotta give the ladies what they want.
That's so true. Yeah.
Hey, that does it for us here on Arc Rochester. Make sure to wake up with us again tomorrow morning, starting at 4:57 over on the other channel. Abigail, what is it?
13 Wham ABC. You'll find much more live local news there later today for 13 Wham News at midday. We'll see you then.
Bye.